Hi, I'm Scott James. I am a brand strategist here at Greenleaf, and today I'm going to talk about how to determine your target market. Well, first of all, what is a target market? For our purposes, a target market is the main people who have the highest potential to be interested in your book or whatever you're talking about overall as your topic. One big mistake that we see a lot of authors do is thinking, my book is so amazing that it's going to be for everyone. Everyone's going to love it. Now, even if that's true, there's still a subgroup of people who will be more interested in your topic. And for most people, almost everyone, the case is that there's really just a subgroup who's going to be interested enough in your topic to want your book or be passionate enough about your series to want to buy that book. So determining your target market is important, and we look at it in 3 steps. Step 1 is figuring out what your message is and what the main benefit you bring to the table as an author is. Step 2 is doing your initial research, finding out sort of a broad understanding of potential target markets. And then step 3 is developing more in-depth audience personas. So step 1, figuring out your message and benefit. What you need to do there is think, what is my core message? What am I really talking about? For a business author, a lot of times that means, what is the main, most important piece of information or process or theory that you're bringing to the table, and taking that and making all of your messaging be about that and figuring out who the people are who are most interested in that. For a fiction author, that may be more about thinking, what kind of entertainment value do you bring to the table? For example, if you have a young adult fiction novel, you may think, what I'm bringing is some escapism, and that's really what my main message is about, helping people, escape to a fantasy world. Step 2 is doing some research. So once you understand what your main message is or your main benefit that you're offering to the reader, you want to do a little bit of research, sort of a broad swath, and figure out, what are the groups of people who are interested in what it is that I'm talking about. So if you are that business author, and let's say that your topic is leadership, you may be targeting people who are in management, maybe people who are in the C-suite, and trying to develop a platform so that you can do more speaking and do some keynoting and do more consulting with businesses. So you would look at just the people who are managing other people, and that would be sort of the broad look at who your target market would be. If you are that young adult fiction novelist, perhaps your book is about vampires, you would be able to come back and say, okay, so I know that 14 to 18-year-old readers who live in urban areas are very interested in vampires, and that would be your broad swath of what your target market is. And then you would move on to step 3, and you would develop what we call audience personas. What an audience persona is a collection of traits that are typical to people who are going to be interested in the book that you're publishing. It's not a specific person. It's not going to match up with every single person who's interested in your book, but it's a way to sort of humanize the typical things that your target audience is interested in, and it helps you make your marketing targeted toward humans and people rather than just broadly toward everyone. The way to develop an audience persona is at a very base level to ask, what are the people who are going to buy my book interested in? What do they like to eat? What do they like to watch for movies? What do they do? What kind of jobs do they have? What are they interested in? What are their problems? Etc. And that way you sort of flesh out a picture of a persona who will likely be interested in the message that you're bringing and the benefit that you're offering. So if you're doing that business book, that may be people who are, managers who are having issues with communication on their staff. And they typically read the Wall Street Journal and the Huffington Post. Conversely, if you're dealing with the young adult fiction novel about vampires, you may find, the people who are interested in that are actually people who are play sports at their high school and who are big readers and they buy a lot of books. So this helps you flesh out and you have a little bit more understanding about the people who are interested. So in determining your target market, the 3 steps are: 1, what is your main message or your main benefit? 2, doing your initial broad research, and 3, developing audience personas for your marketing. And that's how you determine target market for your book.